Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic day today. Today I'm going to be sharing what I'm decluttering this month. And if you've been around my channel for a while, you've probably seen these before, but essentially my favorite way of decluttering is really just every month or so going through and evaluating my possessions just to determine if there's anything that's not adding value to my life or that I'm not using anymore. So I have a couple of items that I have over the past month or so just kind of accumulated, and I wanted to share them with you guys today. So here you go, this is what I am decluttering this month. Before we get started though, if we don't know each other yet, hi, my name is Ashlynne, and I make videos twice a week on this channel about minimalism and intentional living. So if that sounds interesting to you and you have not subscribed already, definitely consider hitting that red subscribe button down below so that you don't miss another weekly episode. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with talking about the first item that I'm decluttering this month, which is an article of clothing. So I'm actually going to be decluttering 4 items of clothing this month, and as I bring new pieces of clothing into my life, I try to declutter items that are no longer adding value. So I have a couple of pieces here, and I'll show each of them to you. First off, I have this gray tank top. I bought this secondhand. It's originally from Old Navy, and I bought it last year because I really like the silhouette of it. I like the high neckline. I like the fact that it flares out slightly, and I just like the color of it. But the one issue I have with this shirt is that it shows any kind of sweat that you get just because of the material. And I live in North Carolina where it is very, very warm in the summer. And if you're trying to avoid looking like you've been sweating, this is not the shirt to wear. It's just not super conducive to the climate we live in. I'd love to find a shirt in a similar style in a different material. Okay, the next item I'm going to be decluttering is this thermal that is this kind of like maroon raspberry-ish color. I don't know exactly how to describe it. And I've loved this shirt for several years, but unfortunately it just doesn't fit me now as well as it did when I first got it. While I still love that kind of thermal shape and just the overall silhouette of this guy, I feel like my biggest issue is just the fact that I never find myself reaching for it just because it's not as comfortable or flattering on me as it once was. I mean, I got this thing in high school when I weighed about 10 or 15 pounds less, so that does kind of make a difference. So while I do still technically fit it, it's just not as comfortable as it once was, and I'm going to declutter it. Next up, I have kind of the opposite problem. These shorts are really cute, and I've held on to them for quite a while. I think it's been 2 or 3 years now. But I think I'm going to declutter them at this point just because they're a little bit big on me and not super flattering. I do love there's these cute little flower details all over these shorts, and I feel like if these were about a size smaller, I would love them. Unfortunately, they're already a size extra small, so I don't think that I would have been able to find them in a smaller size. It's important to me that I'm wearing things that I feel good in, and I always feel like it's hard for me to find a top to wear with these just because they're kind of like loose and baggy shorts. So yeah, I just didn't reach for them as much last year as I wanted to because of that, and so I think I'm going to declutter them and try to replace them with maybe a similar pair of shorts that fits me better for this summer. And then the last item I'm going to be decluttering this month clothing wise is this dress. This is a sundress that I got once again in high school from American Eagle, and I absolutely love this dress because I think it's really cute in terms of the color, this little paisley print on it, and the fact that it's got this nice little tie detail. But honestly, this dress has just never fit me. I'm pretty petite as a person. I'm quite short. I'm only 5'2", and this dress is honestly just not flattering because it goes like way too low on me because I'm short. And it's just one of those dresses that has never quite fit right, but because I love the other details of it, I would keep it and try to wear it, and it was one of those pieces I would always try on in my closet but never actually wear out. So I've finally come to the terms with the fact that this isn't the dress for me, so I'm going to be decluttering it, passing it on, and it's still in great condition, so hopefully I can give it to someone else who'll love it. Okay, so next up, I've kind of been decluttering some of the items in our kitchen, trying to get rid of the things that I don't use or that we have duplicates of. So I've got a few different items here that I'm going to be decluttering. The first up is this spoon strainer thing. I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be used for, but I know that in 3 years of living on my own and cooking, I've never used it. So I'm going to be decluttering that. Same thing goes for this spatula right here. If you can't tell, these were a part of a set. And it was like a set of 5 items. I got them from a thrift store originally, so and I use the other items all the time, so overall it was a win, but these two items I just haven't used, and I'd kind of forgotten about them, but I realized I still had them the other day and was like, okay, I think it's time to declutter this. I think we've proven to ourselves that you're not actually going to use them. And then the last item was the silicone spoon. I actually used this quite a bit, but recently I've really been liking using wood spoons a lot better for cooking, and I've just been finding myself reaching for the wood spoons I have a lot more frequently. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one just because it's kind of been sitting all alone. I used it a lot a couple of years back, maybe even a year ago, but in the past like 6 months or so I haven't really reached for it. So I'm going to declutter those 3 items. And then I have a couple of craft supplies and miscellaneous items to declutter as well. Okay, so this month I actually went through some of our old Sharpies and discovered we have about 6 or 7 of them that don't actually work anymore. So I'm going to be going ahead and decluttering all of those. And in addition, I went through our pens as well and found 5 that don't work as well as they're supposed to, or they're just completely run dry. And so I'm going to be decluttering all of those as well. I kind of wanted to go through some of our craft supplies and just reevaluate some of those items. So those pens were a part of that. Another item that I've decided to declutter are these sketching crayons. And this is something that I've kind of held on to for quite a long time, thinking I'll use them because they're fun, neutral colors. I've always thought it would be fun to sketch with them. But I've kind of come to realize that I'm more of like a pencil kind of sketching person rather than like sketching crayons or pastels or charcoal or anything like that. So I'm going to be going ahead and decluttering these. I'm thinking that with these items, and if anything I'm decluttering still works, I might try to find a kid or, you know, some kind of charity or something that I can donate those items to, because I feel like those are definitely something that could still be used and loved by someone else. Carrying on with the craft supplies, I've got 2 different art notebooks that I'm going to be decluttering. This one is a toned tan sketched paper, which I believe is supposed to be used with the sketching crayons I had, but I never really used it. I always use just like the plain white ones because they're best for sketching with pencils, which, as I said, I typically do. And then this one is actually something I did for an art class a while back in high school. And I kept it because I liked some of the different sketches that I did for this class, but I think I kind of finally came to terms with the fact that like this particular sketchbook isn't particularly sentimental for me, so I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter both of those 2 as well. Next up, I have a set of coloring pencils, and these are actually coloring pencils that I got in Switzerland. The reason I held on to these is because I really liked the case. It's like this nice metal case, and they're really pretty colors. They aren't the highest quality pencil crayons though, and I never actually used them all that frequently. Oh, also, I think Americans call these colored pencils, not pencil crayons. I think that's a Canadian thing, in case you think I'm crazy. But yeah, so I have another set that I prefer or that I've used a lot more. These were bought specifically for a trip in high school, and I never really used them, so it makes sense to declutter them, but I mean, they're still in great condition, so definitely I think, once again, try to find a kid who can use them and love them. And then I have a few random things. One of them is a tiger pen that I believe is Christopher's that he hasn't used probably since high school. You might be catching a drift here. We have a harder time decluttering art supplies than probably anything else. So you have this guy, an eraser that doesn't work and also had somebody's face drawn on it. It's great. And then I have this ball of yarn that I don't really know how it ended up in my possession. I don't really think I'm ever going to use it. I can't think of a use for it, so I'm going to declutter it. And then we just have 3 more items. One of them is a little beauty item, and this is a Burt's Bees lip gloss, and it's this like dark maroon color that's like kind of sparkly, very dark. And this was given to me as a gift, and it was very intimidating to me when I first got it, but I figured I would try it because I liked the color. But you guys know me, I don't really wear any kind of dark colors on my lips, on my, like, I'm very like minimal when it comes to makeup, and so I've just never really had the opportunity to wear this, and when I put it on, like trying it on as a look, kind of scares me a little bit, so I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. And then we were given this like head scratching thing for Christmas, which is one of those like super novelty gifts, and I don't think we're ever going to use it. It's like a fun kind of gaggy gift, and it's like enjoyable as an experience the day that you get it, but it's not the kind of thing that we're ever going to use, Christopher and I, the two of us, just because, I mean, if I'm gonna play with your hair, I'm going to use my fingers, you know? It's just a thing, so I don't think that this one's ever going to get used by us. And then the last item, I'm really going to try here to get this up. Oof. Okay, so you can see my face. It's a mirror, ta-da! Hello, that's the camera. So yes, I have this mirror. Okay, I'm gonna put this down now. Oh. So I have this massive mirror, and we had it hanging up in our apartment when we lived in Raleigh, but there just hasn't been a space in our house here in Charlotte where we really have wanted or needed to use it, because we've got fairly large bathroom mirrors. We've got this beautiful mirror behind me. There was just never like the right place to put it, and I think that we kind of wanted to sit on it a little bit to see if there was an opportunity to use it, but we've really come to realize that we're never actually going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this one on Facebook Marketplace, I think, because it's a really nice mirror. It's just something that we really haven't been able to find a place for here in our home. So that's the last thing I'm going to be decluttering this month. So that's everything we're going to be decluttering this month. In total, I think it's around 15 or 16 items, plus I'll just count the pens as one item, which I think is really great. I've really been able to just kind of go through, especially our art supplies, and make sure that we're only keeping things that we'll actually use and that are actually adding value to our lives, not things that we haven't used since high school. I definitely want to say though that decluttering our art supplies is something that's taken a lot longer for me than almost anywhere else in our house, just because it's something that I'm sentimentally attached to. Same thing with Christopher. We're both artistic, creative people and like expressing ourselves in that way. So I want to encourage you, if you have a hobby or anything like that where you collect things that are associated with it, really be careful to consider, are these things actually adding value to my life, and are they things I'm going to use going into the future? And be willing to declutter them if they're not. That's something that I'm honestly still learning. And as much as I've decluttered so much of my life, that is an area where I still have a harder time letting go of things. And so be encouraged that, like, I definitely am going through that too. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little decluttering video. If you've decluttered anything this month, definitely go ahead and let me know what that was in the comments below. I always love hearing about the wins that you guys are having in decluttering and minimizing your life. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed to my channel yet already, definitely hit that red subscribe button below. I've got some more great minimalism and intentional living videos coming out for you in the near future. Go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoyed it, but that's everything I have for you today. I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.